Hello internet world and welcome to a new video on the Geekanoids channel. Today it is the end of my dumb phone challenge. I've been using the Nokia 3310 3G for just over a week now. I've been giving you regular updates every couple of days and it's been an interesting experience. Very interesting indeed. Now I'll be covering today my final conclusion as to whether this has worked for me, whether it has gained me some time back, and whether indeed I've still been able to manage to run my business for the whole week only using this whilst I was out and about. Now before I do so, just to catch you all up on why I took this challenge, first of all, this is the Nokia 3310. It's not a dumb phone as such, it does more than just phone calls, but I selected this one because it's a current phone, it's a feature phone, so not a dumb phone. But instead of using some of the other features on it, all I've been doing is using it for phone calls and texting. And if you haven't watched the previous videos in this particular series, please do check back. There is a link down below to the whole series of the dumb phone challenge. But to catch you up, the reason I did this is because I wanted to come away from social media. I wanted to move away from using my smartphone all the time. And what would happen, my general use of my smartphone, if I was attending an appointment to see a customer or a client, would be that I would get into my car, drive to the appointment, and then before I went into the appointment, I would check my emails to see if anything important had come in. Or indeed, I might have a quick sneaky peek at Twitter and see if any app messages had come in that I needed to reply to, because I like responding to you guys on Twitter pretty quickly. And then I would go into the appointment with my phone on silent, so I wasn't disturbed throughout the whole appointment, and then I would come back out, get my smartphone back out of my pocket, take it off of silent, and then I would check my email again, or maybe I'd have a quick look at Instagram, maybe I would post something to Instagram, and all of these little 2 or 3 minutes throughout the day would interrupt how focused I was. So this challenge was to get me away from that. The only time I could check social media for this past week was indeed when I was sitting at either this desk or using my laptop at another desk. So when I was tied to a desk, I could use social media. When I was away from the desk, all I could use for communications was this. So that's the premise of this particular challenge. And it was really interesting. It's been a very interesting week, and all of you who've tuned into the previous videos have left me plenty of comments and questions. I'm going to cover some of those off now. One of the first questions I got from somebody is, has it really improved my time management? Now, the honest answer to that is that it hasn't improved my time management at all, because my time management was pretty good before. What it has done is it's gained me back those few minutes arriving at an appointment and the few minutes afterwards. So it hasn't improved my time management, but it has gained me back some time. And on an average day, I might sort of do those sort of things where I'm visiting a client, or maybe doing a courier run, or out and about, or even out with friends. I would say I would do that probably about between 4 and 6 times a day. If you times that by maybe 5 minutes each, say 4 to 5 minutes, but for the easiness of working out the mathematics, let's say 5 minutes, that's probably gained me back about 30 minutes in total. So really quite a lot of time gained back, but it hasn't improved my time management. So that's the answer to that first question. The other question that came in is, could I cover off in this last video what it has improved? I think that using this for a week has improved how I connect with people. So when I'm going into an appointment or meeting, I'm more focused because I haven't just checked an email that's maybe got me thinking about what I need to respond to when I get back to the office. You know, it's completely 100% focus on the meeting I'm going into, or 100% at the task, on the task at hand. And on the couple of occasions where we've sat down for a family meal, again, because this hasn't rung on that family meal or a text hasn't come in, I haven't got my smartphone off to the side. I was pretty good at that beforehand anyway. If I went out for a meal in a restaurant, my smartphone would remain in my pocket. And one of the main things that amazes me today is seeing couples sitting around us in a restaurant, and they're all on their smartphones tapping away at the screen, and they glance up occasionally at the person the other side of the table. I've always been pretty good at that if I'm out at a restaurant, so this hasn't had any effect on that really. Even if my phone would ring if I was at a meal, I probably wouldn't answer it. So that hasn't changed. But as I say, what it has improved in my day-to-day business is being focused and not being distracted by having a quick check at emails, because that has happened to me once when I was going into one meeting probably about 4 or 5 months ago. I checked my emails before going into the meeting, saw something important but it needed a lengthy reply, something that I wasn't going to respond to on my smartphone. I was going to save it till I was back in the office, and I definitely was distracted throughout that meeting a little bit, because that really, it was a very, very important email. The meeting I was going into was very important, but it did play on my mind, so it's definitely improved a focus perspective. Another thing that I've really noticed as well is obviously you don't need to charge this. Obviously you do eventually, but I'm still on my first charge and I've got about half the battery life left. So I think this will easily last for a whole sort of week to 2 weeks without any issue at all. Definitely a week, because it's lasted that long so far. So battery life is fantastic. Just to cover off something I didn't like, absolutely hated going back to predictive texting using the little keys on the front, because you haven't got a touch screen. You have to tap each of these keys on the front however many times you need for the particular letter, and then a predictive word comes up. Somebody did also ask me in a previous comment or question on one of the other videos whether it actually does sort of an inbox and an outbox, or whether the messages that come in are threaded, and it is sort of that conversation type thread on the messages. So that's really nice as well. That's an improvement over the really old generation Nokia 3310. So before I come on to this last question that came in, and give you my overall summary of this experiment or challenge for the past week, I'm going to say a big hello to, as always I do this, the first 4 people in the chat. A big hello to Danadize, to James Bowling, to Raymond Moore, and also Matthew Geeson. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys, and thank you to all of you who are watching live. There is the live chat there, so if you do want to leave any comments or questions, please do. And also we have got the super chat. If you want your comment or question highlighted, then you can use that function as well. If you're watching this after the live event, so this is live at the moment, but if you're watching this on the main channel after it's been uploaded, then please do leave me a comment or question as well, because I answer as many as I can. And don't forget to hit that like button. I'm not ending the video, but just reminding you, hit that like button. And if you're new to Geekanoids, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications too. So back to the last question I wanted to cover that came in from a viewer, is that they know that I run a business. In fact, I run a couple of businesses, and they wanted to know, could I still run my business using this? And the answer is, unless you're constantly, and I mean constantly, having to respond to emails, and unless you're constantly having to do social media whilst you're on the move, then yes, you can easily run a business on this. So a normal business where you're just taking phone calls, responding to the occasional text, you could easily run your business on this. It has the added benefit of having a very long battery life. It also has the added benefit of having really good call quality. I mentioned this in my previous update. The incoming call quality on this is better than my LG V30, and the outgoing call quality, well, that's subjective because I'm relying on feedback from the recipient at the other end of the call. But certainly the call quality on this, the little pickups, are very, very good indeed. The camera is rubbish. The micro USB for charging is a welcome addition, because it means it's nice and easy to charge. If I did need to charge it whilst I was out and about, I could use a battery pack. Not that I see that ever having to happen. But the answer to that viewer's question, and forgive me, I forget your name, but could you run a business using a Nokia 3310? And the answer is 100% yes. As I say, unless you're really running a business that relies on being able to do maybe great photos, social media, and lots of emails throughout the day, then this isn't for you. But saying that, if you've got a normal smartphone, so for example, at the moment, whilst I've been in the studio, I've been testing this, the LG V30, then this could become a secondary backup phone. Put this in the glove box of your car. You know the battery's going to last a week, and you know, it's all good. It's just absolutely working superbly for me as a backup phone going forwards. This is going to be in the glove box of my car for emergency use, and I'll take it out of the glove box on occasion as well, carry it around with me if I'm going up for maybe a longer business trip, couple of days in London or whatever. Then this will pop into my pocket. It's very nice and slim, very well made, and it's going to be a really good smart feature phone for that. Now, just to touch on, this is a dumb phone challenge, but to touch on the other features of this, if you were thinking of picking this up, maybe you're going on a camping trip, or maybe you do a lot of walking and you don't want to take your smartphone, this would be ideal for that as well. And it has got a lot of other features. So we've obviously got, if I just go around here, we've got call history, we've also got contacts, we've got gallery, we've got the snake game, which I played once, we've got messaging, which is that threaded conversation view, we've got an Opera browser on here as well, we've also got a mobile store, we've got the camera, Facebook pre-installed. We've also got a radio, Twitter and music. We can watch videos. We've got settings and alarm clock, and then we've got extras, a calculator and a calendar. Oh, and files and a voice recorder. I didn't scroll down that far before. And some counters and some games pre-installed. So we've got Real Football pre-installed, Asphalt Nitro, more games available, Disney Kingdoms, and also Little Big City. So there are games pre-installed on here as well. So it is really a feature phone that I've been using as a dumb phone for this challenge. But if you were looking at buying this as a device that you could use for some scenarios where you didn't want to take your smartphone, then this has been superb. It really is well done. A good job done by Nokia on their re-release of the 3310 and this slightly newer version, which is the 3310 3G. So that's pretty much it for the Dumb Phone Challenge. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching throughout this series and for joining me pretty much every day, because I publish a new tech video or a live broadcast every single day. So thanks for watching. Thank you for joining in the comments. Please do leave me some more comments. I really do appreciate it. Hit that like button and have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you in another one very soon.